previously on Headin South, the Headin South crew joined me and my dad on our annual trip to go see our good buddy Richard DeVoe at what's probably my favorite place to duck hunt, Mallard Alley. After a fun night of cutting up with our good buddies Richard DeVoe and Josh Harris, we actually went to bed pretty early, full of excitement with what the next morning had to offer. And the previous day's weather had flooded the trail going back to the spot where we figured we have the best chance of killing a lot of ducks that morning.
Alright, you got ditches on both sides here, so stay right behind me, okay?
I'll stand directly behind you, I ain't gonna miss. So, after a somewhat scary ride, we finally got back to where we thought the ducks might want to be. And fortunately, the ducks wanted to be there.
Take it, Dad.
With great shooting like this. Well, needless to say, it didn't take us very long to get our limit, but not only did we have great shooting, but we also had some outstanding retrieving. Even from my dog Bailey, who's getting right there up on retirement age. In fact, we even met the new little lady that's going to be taking her place. My new black lab, Fancy. And y'all get to watch my fancy girl next season, back at Mallard Alley. And today on Headin South, we're leaving the cold, crisp air of Tutwiler, Mississippi, and heading down to the muggy, overcast weather of Hopedale, Louisiana. And when it starts to warm up after being cold in this area, that pretty much means two things: bugs and fog. The plan is to get to Hopedale and go out with Captain Spencer Davis. And the plan is to catch some redfish. But when me and producer Barry Foster got in the truck to make the 50-mile drive to Hopedale, we didn't quite know if we were making a good decision to go or not. But we decided to go ahead and go, hoping that when the sun came up, it would at least burn some of this fog off and maybe give us a chance. But when we got down there and met Spencer, it seemed like it'd gotten even thicker than it already was. And once again, we decided we'd go, but we're going to take it really slow. After having concerns of even driving over, and then having concerns if we should be on the water, and taking forever to even get to the spot we wanted to fish, once we got here, all those concerns went out the window on the very first cast. Great fishing action with Captain Spencer Davis in Hopedale, Louisiana, when Headin South returns. Welcome back to Headin South. Now, this is how the last couple days have gone for me. At Mallard Alley, the conditions made it dang near impossible to get to where we wanted to actually go kill ducks. Now we're in Hopedale, Louisiana, and still having trouble getting to where we're wanting to go. And this time, it's because of the fog. This fog was so thick in places, it was like being on an airplane and flying into a cloud bank. But just like Mallard Alley trying to get to where the ducks were, as soon as Spencer got us to where the fish were, it was on immediately.
There he is. Yeah, it's that little slick, about 15 foot up there.
Now, Captain Spencer had been catching a lot of redfish at this spot, but if we were to haul out a limit of speckled trout, that'd be fine by us.
So we got a mud flat right here, and it's about 1.5 feet deep on the flat, and it drops down about 3 or 4 foot, and then after that it drops to about 8 foot. So just kind of fishing the little shelves. Yeah, it's a good fish. Fishes all the time.
Oh yeah! I figured old Spencer put us on him here pretty quick.
Takes a couple casts. What you think? I think he makes it. And that's a pretty old fish.
That high water cork sounds so good flopping right there.
After the first cast of the day, we're thinking, all right, it's gonna be a trout day. And then back-to-back redfish. So we're really not sure, but I think the trout are gonna stick around too.
Oh yeah. Down here in Hopedale with Captain Spencer Davis, putting us on some pretty nice little speckled trout. Been here about 10 minutes. He's already put us on about 4 of them. It's a pretty good morning so far.
Now today, I would take catching just speckled trout, and I would dang sure take just catching redfish. But catching them together, now that's awesome. And they seem to be pretty hungry.
He's swimming to you.
Captain Spencer Davis has flat out put us on these fish. And it doesn't show any signs of slowing down. But later on, they do get a little bit bigger. Hey, and we also find out that there's something out here in these marshes that are a little bit hungrier than these fish. Welcome back to Headin South. Man, am I glad that we didn't let this fog keep us on the shore today. Because since we've been here, we've been on speckled trout and redfish nearly every cast. Now these fish are really hungry, but compared to these mosquitoes and gnats, they aren't hungry at all. These guys are looking for any piece of bear skin you have, and as soon as they find it, they're gonna chomp down.
Boy, the gnats down here pretty much carry you off.
It seems like every one bite we get from a fish, we're getting 10 bites from a damn bug.
Boy, the gnats down here pretty much carry you off.
Well, we came out here in that fog this morning, so I guess while these fish are biting, I'll put up with these gnats. And the fish kept biting.
Well, there he is.
Oh, that's a good one. He put a little drag.
But as Spencer hooked up with this fish, it was at this point we realized it wasn't just specks, reds, and gnats that were eating at this spot.
Shrunk on his way over here a little bit, I think. Oh, sheephead, that's why.
A sheephead. Not really what we were expecting, but hey, after catching fish on nearly every cast, And after Spencer landed this fish, the sun started to peek out and that fog finally started to burn off. Then we went a whole bunch of casts in a row with just nothing. It's like this is where they like to feed in the fall. So we're gonna make a move too.
So we just spent about 20 minutes trying to catch some trout. We got a couple in the box, threw a couple back. So we're gonna head down south, try and get on some bigger redfish and see what we can do. So when I first started running charters a year ago, this area was just turning into a hot spot. And just like today, I came down and it was foggy as all can be. And made that slow ride down here, nice and easy, and sure enough, about an hour, had 25 redfish in the boat, and clients were happy as could be. Now. There you go.
Yeah, that feels like a trout. It is. I think.
That looks right. Yeah, that's a good one too.
Come on, buddy. Come get this boat. Come get this boat. I'll take a mess of them, Spencer. I'll for sure take a mess of them.
Well, the sun's out. We made one move. I made one cast, and now we got one more nice speck on the boat. I like where this is headed. Stay tuned.
Now.
There you go.
Yeah, that feels like a trout.
Welcome back to Headin South. We pulled up to another one of Spencer's good spots, and just like the first spot, we hooked up on the first cast. But this trout is bigger than the ones from the first spot. But Spencer told me he had mainly caught redfish here, and not too shortly thereafter, we found out they were there too.
See where the moment is right there. Real fast. Thought I was stuck on some grass and went to move it, and I'm glad I didn't, because he pulled it down. He smoked that one. Oh, that's another good one.
Oh yeah. Captain Spencer said, "I'll put you on them, boy." Here we go.
Oh, that's a red.
How you get a redfish?
That or that's a good freaking trout.
Yeah, it's a good trout. Sounding like that court sounding.
It's fighting good. That's a good trout.
Wow, beautiful. That's a good one.
Yeah, this spot's just as good as the first one. And the fish are actually bigger. But is there any way this action can stay this hot?
Don't bring a dang camera over here. You gonna embarrass me like that? Come on. I'm out there in your spot. If you want to get out fished by your fishing guy, just go with Spencer Davis. He'll make you feel like you're really not a good fisherman.
Yeah, just getting the job done.
Fishing in Hopedale with Captain Spencer Davis has been pretty much every cast for both of us. Until the last few minutes, he's been doing a little better than I have. And finally, I noticed a little something. Because of the water clarity and the bad weather we'd had lately, we bought a few live shrimp to hedge our bet a little bit. And I was still throwing these live shrimp thinking it's the best thing to do, but Spencer had switched to our favorite high water fish lure.
Get 'em shad, vermilion brown from high water, getting the job done on these Hopedale trout.
Could these soft plastics really be out fishing live bait? Well, to find out, I kept throwing the live shrimp for a little while. And the answer was absolutely.
Oh want y'all to look at my cork. Show him my cork, man. Show him his cork, where it was coming in from, and my cork.
I tell you this, I fell off the turnip truck, but it was not yesterday. I'm gonna switch to one of these soft plastics because I've got some serious catching up to do coming up after the break.
What?
Spencer was annihilating these fish on these soft plastics.
High water, get 'em shad, shrimp on the run. Getting the job done with some speckled trout and Hopedale.
So I'm making the switch, but literally Spencer caught 3 fish back to back.
Ooh, that's a good one.
While I was re-rigging.
God almighty, Spencer.
Yeah, I got plenty of them in there. They're right here on the seat.
Now I'll say this, catching up's gonna be tough, but I'm gonna give it hell.
I actually caught one. I actually hooked this one, caught it. It's coming to me. That little trout. I bet you there's a get 'em shad in here somewhere. Well, look at there.
My first cast of one of these hot water fishing lures, first fish with it. But for me to catch up, old Captain Spencer's gonna have to slow down a little bit. So I talked him into the fact that I didn't think that he could catch one of these fish on a top water lure. And then,
Oh, what about that, huh? Oh, yeah. Walking the dog, they say.
now this would end up being the only fish that Captain Spencer would catch on this top water. But me, on the soft plastics,
Don't fall off the boat. I'm about dead.
let's just say I'm coming back, baby. And it obviously didn't take old Spencer very long to figure out he was doing a lot better using the soft plastics. And as soon as he switched back, well, you know.
Back up with authority. Get 'em shad coming at you.
This fishing in Hopedale, Louisiana with Captain Spencer Davis, well, it really couldn't get any better. How much better can you get than catching a fish on every single cast?
Look at that get 'em hook coming at you. I don't know how I hooked that fish. Good man.
Now you know they're biting pretty good when you're trying to produce a TV show and the fish really won't even give you time to do an interview.
Go ahead, tell me a story.
So about a year and a half ago, a buddy of mine that graduated high school with me was starting his own little charter business doing boat fishing charters. And
Hold on, folks. Let him take a break to keep whooping me. Let him take a break.
Well, I may not have caught all the way back up to Spencer, but I gave coming back a valiant effort.
That small either. Not that.
And needless to say, when we're catching fish like this, it took us no time to reach our limit and get it headed back towards the house. I'd like to thank my good buddy Spencer Davis from Spencer Davis Charters for showing us how to catch fish, and we'll see you next time on Headin South. All the inshore lures today on Headin South were brought to you by High Water Fishing Lures. To learn more about these incredible lures, contact us at Headin South or visit their website, highwaterfishinglures.com.